What is up, everyone? This is Elite Kickboxer, and today I'm going to be doing a video on how to upgrade the Benelli M4. Now, you may have just got the Benelli, you've had it for a while, or just wanted to think, like, what are some things you could do to make it better? Great gun as it is. Technically, no, it doesn't really need any upgrades like that, but you know what? There's some things that could make it better. For example, the charging handle. The one on the factory version is a little small for my liking. But I prefer a bigger one, so then that's why I'm going to install this one. As you can see, the size difference. The magazine release, it's a little small little button, that's why I'm going to have this giant this piece with a lot of surface area. A magazine follower, just aluminum one, not the plastic one that it comes with. And also the number one thing, and this is the tactical version, has a pistol grip, but what it does not have is an adjustable stock or a 7-round magazine tube. This has that fake extension on there, but what I have is I have a full-length 7-round magazine tube. This is the original Benelli metal, and so this is going to match this gun to the exact color. This is not made by like one of those third parties. This is a Benelli full-length extension tube, and well, it's not an extension tube, it's a full-length tube, but I'll also just show you how to put the extension tube on if you have the +2. But this is going to be one solid piece, so you won't have another piece here. It's going to be one tube. So, and also I'll have this video separated into or I'll put some the timestamps for the different parts, that just in case you're here for one or two of the parts that I'm doing, not like doing every single upgrade. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do, just going to show you that the gun is empty. Nothing in there, and nothing, got nothing in there, it's empty. Alright, so now when you do this, I just suggest to you that you keep the bolt back. Just going to be easier on you. So we're going to take off the magazine cap. You're going to slide the barrel off. Now the covers themselves, it indicates inside what side they are, like left or right. You can see it says right or left, and it says the arrow, and it has an arrow pointed to them. That way you don't need to know which one, you don't have to keep track. This slides right off. Now, I'm not doing a review of this. If you want to see the review of this gun or me shooting it, check out my other video, but this is just upgrading the gun. Now, if you have a +2 extension, I'm going to take this thing off. And you're going to need some needle nose pliers or these. I'm just going to have to take this cap off. Now be careful, and I'll explain that later in the video, because this is under very high spring tension, so you'd want to wear eye protection or just don't look at this when you take it off, but I'll be continuing that later. And again, I'll put the timestamp. So don't need the barrel anymore. So the first thing, I'm going to release the bolt. Now, to take out the charging handle, you're just going to twist and pull. And it comes right out. If you want to, you can put the new one in, just push in and twist until you hear it click, but I need to take this out, so I'm not going to do that this second. So I'm going to take the bolt out. Alright. So next, what you're going to do is you're going to hit this, you're going to use a punch, and just going to push this pin in that holds the trigger group in. Now this is a retaining pin, so you don't have to worry about falling out. You don't need a hammer, it doesn't take that much strength. So what I mean by retaining is that it just stays in like that. You don't need to do anything else. You're just going to pull this out and let that sit. Alright, so that's the trigger group. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting the new the larger safety, the oversized safety button. So to do that, you just want to take about a 5/64 punch. You're going to hit this pin right here, and then because there's a spring in there, you want to make sure this pin goes all the way through. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I just push the pin out. What I mean is that this has to stay in there when you're doing that. Just make sure you don't lose the pin. Put it on the side. The pin stays in there. That way the spring doesn't fall out and get extended out. So I'm going to put my finger over this hole, this top hole. When I pull my finger out, when I pull this out, the spring comes out. Take the spring, put it to the side. To take the trigger out, you're just going to hit this upside down a little bit to keep a little piece that's touching this, let it fall out. And then you could just simply pull out the trigger, safety, and then you can install the new one. Just simply slide that in. And this works both ways, lefties or righties, so it doesn't matter which direction you put this thing in. Alright, so once that's in there, I'm going to push, just let the spring go back in. Now this might take a try or two, but you're going to want to push down on the spring while pushing this pin to this side, and then as you release tension here, you push from here. The goal is to get this pin straight across. And now you could do this with toothpicks, forks, not fork, nails. Nails are good. Nails are what I've seen someone do before. Alright, so I got lucky on that one. It's actually, sometimes it takes me a little longer. Now that that's in there, what you're going to do is you're just going to take that pin, you're just going to make sure that is always touching that. Just going to push forward. So as I'm pushing the pin in, this is coming out. Just going to hit it a little bit. You could use like a piece of wood to do this, just something to hit it. And if it gets stuck on the spring, just insert this to push it out of the way. Alright, now that's in, just going to make sure it works. And it does. So the next piece is going to be the bolt release. To do that, what you're going to need to do is this pin right here. You're going to need to use a punch to take that out. this is going to be spring loaded, so before you take the pin out completely, just make sure you keep that your finger on the spring. Just let it depress. Then just take out the spring. And when I get this out, this piece. And you can take out this piece. Put it to the side. And it does come with a new spring and pin, so you don't need either of those. This is the gg&g one, so at least this set you don't need a new spring, and I mean it comes with a new spring and pin, just so you can see. Alright, so for this one, alright, so just have to take off the Allen key. That's keeping that together. And don't lose either of these pieces because you're going to need that later. Okay, put those pieces to the side. So now I'm just going to be inserting this. So now before you do this, I also recommend that you just put the pin in just a little bit just to get it started, just to make it easier for you. Perfect. Alright, so now going to be putting the spring in here. And there is a little notch on this piece for it to grab onto. So it's just going to take a little bit of manipulating just for the pin to slide in. Once you got in the right position, when you're hitting this, I definitely suggest keep on manipulating it every now and then just to make sure it's going to the slot. When you do it, make sure you do not hit it in too much. If you do, this is going to be uneven. When it moves, it's going to be cockeyed. It should be lined up flush when you're looking at it from this angle. And just take a picture of it or note it before you start taking out the original. Alright, so once that's in, all we have to do now is just let this sit on there. And it'll snap into place. And then you're just going to put the screw on. Just like that. So as you can see, it's... Let me just adjust that. It's much better now. Push it, which most videos I didn't see this, but it actually stands out that much. I mean, that's fine with me, but I did not know. I thought it was flush, but it makes sense that it stands out. But just so you can see, that's how it's on, and it's on properly. Alright, so now I'm going to put the trigger group back in. Just make sure that this pin, the retaining pin, is pushed out. when you put this back in, this rounded end piece is going to slide into a notch right above the trigger. And put this in on an angle. Slide it as far back as you could. And also make sure you push the magazine release, because that is going to enable this to slide upwards. Then you're just going to manipulate this just a little bit, just enough so that this will slide back in. You don't have to hit it, it slides right back in. Okay, so the trigger's in, just make sure that works. Perfect, that works. So now I'm going to put on the larger charging handle. So first you're just going to slide the bolt back in. Once that gets slid in, all you're going to do is just push it in and turn and click. And once you hear that click, it's in. And this, I'm just going to lock it back for now, is ready. And just to make sure it works, it does. Alright, so now we have the larger safety button, the larger magazine release, and the larger charging handle. Alright, so